Hello, my name is Mihao. I'm from Montreal. Um, I've been on quite an incredible journey the last 8 days. It was a long road to get here. It was 3 years in the making, probably even longer than that. That was when I first heard about ayahuasca and its beautiful healing properties, healing for the mind and the body, the spirit. And my brother was the first to make the journey here. 3 years exactly to the day, which is, I didn't even know. I found out when I got here. And as well, I didn't really understand what his experience was because we've had a tumultuous relationship. And so we hadn't spoken much about it. And a lot of it was, my fault too. I tend to always, run away from uncomfortable situations, from challenging situations. But my brother, he was leaving from Montreal to start a new life in our native country of Poland, in Warsaw. And I spoke to him the day that he was leaving. It was the first time I was speaking to him in over 2 years. But I felt that I needed to go say bye to him in person and speak to him. And that was when he told me, what are you waiting for? Why haven't you been here yet? So of course I gave him a laundry list of excuses. And, he told me that those were just obstacles in my mind that I was placing in front of me. And that really affected me and resonated with me. And for the first time since he had come back, I could see a profound change in him that I refused to believe. My mom would hint at it, but I was like, no, nothing's changed, But I felt it in that moment. I felt the change, and I embraced him. And basically, as soon as I got home, maybe an hour later with my dad dropped me off, and I jumped online and I booked the flights immediately. And I had tried to do it earlier, but it just didn't work out. There was travel restrictions and kind of all kinds of things that happened, And, I didn't know what to expect, Even though I watched every single testimonial, and it's kind of surreal to be giving one right now. I never thought I would be giving one, but at the same time, I kind of felt that maybe I would be giving one. And yeah, here I am, and it's been a beautiful journey, My brother kept emphasizing, Mother Ayahuasca gives you what you need and nothing more. And it sounded very abstract to me, but now I understand it. And of course I prepared for this retreat, for this healing retreat. For many days I looked at all the information. I looked at from different sources, not just from the Miyakaya, but just I absorbed a lot of information. And I set out my intentions. I wrote some things down. But a lot of things were just flipped on their head, I experienced things that I didn't know were possible. And for lack of a better word, it felt like magic. My first ceremony, I was ready. I thought I knew what I was going to get. I thought I would get some visuals and feel good. And it was even though that did happen, there was a whole other part that I wasn't prepared for. But I remember again my brother's voice coming back and telling me, express your gratitude when this moment happens. And I did, and I thought of him. and I thought of other close people in my life, and I sent them a lot of love. It was a beautiful moment. It was really beautiful, but it was also very, it was difficult. It was, as everyone says, it was work. Again, that I didn't understand what that meant either, but now I understand what it means. It's a lot of work to get through the ceremonies, to get through the emotions, and then to take it back home with you. And throughout the retreat, I bonded with a group of beautiful people, beautiful souls. We all came together, my fellow travelers seeking healing, the facilitators, who are beautiful, beautiful people, beings of light. I don't know how else to describe them. They're wonderful, They know a lot, sometimes more than they let on. But I think that's part of the process, and when they say trust the process, that is also part of the process. And my third ceremony was absolutely incredibly profound. I didn't think it was possible. But essentially, I witnessed a miracle. And it was a miracle that was connected to me, but connected to the other people in the Maloka, in the ceremonial space. Connected to people who were struggling with their own struggle. I connected to that, and I feel like we created healing, we created something really special, long-lasting, I think these people will be with me for the rest of my life. And it also came and addressed some of my own loss and trauma that was never in my intentions. I didn't realize that it was something that I was carrying, until maybe a few months before the retreat. I had thought about it and forgot about it. And like I said, it wasn't part of my intentions. But there it was, and it gave me, beautiful closure. And also, it was just everything I could ask for and more. But there's so many different emotions and feelings and overwhelming me. But what I understood was, acceptance was a big theme. Accepting, what happens, our emotions, people as they are, being non-judgmental, not taking any extreme positions, just kind of being centered and in the middle. Everything is on a spectrum in life, and it's part of, like life and death, for example. It's part of the same spectrum. Two ends of the same spectrum, and I feel like finding ourselves in the middle is very important during our time on Earth. And I think that everything comes together here. The jungle, the ayahuasca, the shamans, the facilitators, the other travelers, the structures, the animals of the jungle, even the mosquitoes that I'm not a big fan of. Even during my ceremonies, ayahuasca was telling me, the mosquitoes are part of this too. They're part of my world and your world. And another profound revelation was that everything is interconnected in this world. All the things that I went through in the month leading up to arriving here came back to me in the ceremonies and in my visions in a very powerful way. And they were all tests. I was being tested, and I did my best. I think I did okay, but I could see where there's room for improvement. And the last ceremony, I thought, was going to be gentle, the cherry on top, like some of the facilitators were telling me. But boy, oh boy, it was not. It was something completely different. completely different, but is exactly what I needed. Again, coming back to my brother's abstract saying, and the saying that I've been hearing here a lot, was exactly what I needed. It helped me face, this cycle that I was in, this negative cycle that has not been serving me for over 15 years, of just throwing people out of my life, running away from them, escaping from them. And what I learned last night is that you can't escape, and especially here in the jungle, you can't escape it. You can't escape your fears, it's hard to put into words. It's really hard to put into words. I just hope for those people that that get the calling, that they really come here and they do the work and they experience this, because it's a beautiful journey. And I'm really excited to go home, see my family again, and my close friends, who have been with me in really hard times, especially in the last 3 years, which were very difficult. I'm just so grateful. I feel like I'm a new person. I had traumas, PTSD, other issues, and I feel like I'm on the road to recovery, and I'm just looking forward. I put out these intentions in the universe, and I feel like it's coming back full circle. Everything is just coming back around in a beautiful way for me, and I'm very optimistic about the future. For the first time, I'm ready to try new things, to experience new things, but also to keep a lot of the things that have been with me in the last 3 years, and since my birth, my family, and even family members who are gone, animals who are with me, companion animals who are gone and are still here, and I'm just very, very grateful for everything. Thank you.